And the winner is Caitlin Clark, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I'm going to accept this award on behalf of her.
It's a nice accessory for you in the meantime.
Thank you very much. She's obviously not here right now.
Rookie season, Caitlin Clark in her first eligible year wins an ESPY award for WNBA Player of the Year. This comes as no surprise.
The WNBA dynasty is crumbling right before our eyes, and A'ja Wilson can't believe it. The woman who has dominated the league for years now finds herself watching from the sidelines as Caitlin Clark ascends to the throne.
Oh, what a wonderful day it is to wake up. And Caitlin Clark is the WNBA Player of the Year awarded by the ESPYs. You know why? Because the god Caitlin Clark is the face of the league. Ladies and gentlemen, not no weak-ass BET award where the BET Awards ain't held no weight for over 10 years. A real award awarded by the ESPY.
The Las Vegas Aces are sitting at a mediocre 11-11 record, a stunning fall from grace for the former two-time champions. Wilson's reign as the best player in the WNBA is ending not with fanfare, but with frustration, as the rookie sensation turned sophomore superstar has officially become the face of women's basketball.
Caitlin Clark has officially won the ESPY for Best WNBA Player. The WNBA Player of the Year goes to Caitlin Clark. Congrats to CC for winning the ESPY. Well deserved. Would you guys like to know who she beat out? Would you guys like to know who lost to Caitlin Clark? This ain't no BET. All right. My bad. You know how y'all get. I can't even say no jokey jokes, man. Dang. Caitlin Clark officially won the ESPY. Versus the other nominees, she beat out A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Nafisa Collier.
The numbers tell the brutal story of A'ja Wilson's 2025 season. Her Las Vegas Aces, once the undisputed kings of the WNBA Mountain, have plummeted to a .500 record, sitting in 8th place in the league standings. Just 2 years removed from their championship in 2023, and 1 year after their 2024 semifinal exit, the Aces have transformed from title contenders into playoff hopefuls.
Other than the first 5 years that the WNBA has been alive, nobody has brought more attention to this league than Caitlin Clark. Nobody has brought more viewership to this league than Caitlin Clark. Nobody has done such a service bringing them out of the basement and into the mainstream other than Caitlin Clark. Yeah, there have been names that have come and gone. There have been names. Diana Taurasi, she was a name. Candace Parker, she was a name. Maya Moore, she was a name. But they were just all big names in the WNBA. They didn't transcend the sport. They didn't, oh my goodness, we got to sit down and watch. No. Great players, but not Caitlin Clark. Great players.
Wilson's individual statistics still sparkle, averaging 22.3 points, 9.2 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game. But the context has changed dramatically. Her team is struggling to maintain relevance in a league that has moved on from her era. The 3-time MVP winner has watched her empire crumble, while a young guard from Iowa has captured the imagination of the entire basketball world.
The nominees were Nafisa, A'ja Wilson, and Breanna Stewart. You know what's ironic about this? Is that the players ranked her 9th best guard in the W. But whoever is voting on the nominees for the ESPYs says that she's a better player overall. I think we all know there's one player in that group of nominees that's not too happy about this shit. But congratulations to Miss Caitlin Clark, man. She deserves this shit, man.
If you are enjoying, please subscribe. Coach Becky Hammon's frustration has been there for all to see. After a particularly disgraceful loss to the Indiana Fever, without Caitlin Clark on the floor, Hammon delivered a scathing assessment, calling it one of the worst games she has ever seen. She bashed her team, saying that's a complete lack of professionalism to have faced Indiana Fever with that kind of effort. The Aces scored a season-low 54 points in that defeat, shooting a pathetic 26.2% from the field.
3 quarters of trash. The offense was trash. The defense was trash. There has to be some fight back. If they're going to allow that kind of physicality, my team has to step up and match that physicality, period. One team is physical and one team is not. One team is 3 steps behind and one team is not. They got all the 50-50 balls. I mean, they busted our ass in every kind of way, Michael. There's just no two bones about it. It's one of the worst games I've ever seen.
The statistics paint an even grimmer picture. Las Vegas ranks 9th in points per game, 80.2, 9th in defensive rating, 102.9, 10th in rebounds per game, 32.9, and 11th in field goal percentage, 41.3%. They're second to last in assists, 16.9, and dead last in fast break points, 8.1. For a team that once set offensive records and dominated both ends of the floor, these numbers represent a spectacular organizational collapse. While Wilson's aces have struggled, Caitlin Clark has transformed from a promising rookie into the undisputed face of the WNBA. Her recent ESPY award for Best WNBA Player symbolizes the changing of the guard in women's basketball. Clark beat out Wilson, who had won the award in 2023 and 2024, along with Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier for the honor.
All great players, all deserving, awesome players, some of the best in the world. I actually think that those four are the best four players in the world. So definitely great competition with the nominees. We got to talk about it, man. Caitlin Clark, she came in and has been spectacular, especially that rookie season. She came in and was first team all WNBA, first team, absolutely sick, all-star, broke pretty much any record you could have as a rookie. She shattered it. You know, over 60-some records. What was the slogan? Is there a record for records? That is Caitlin Clark.
The Indiana Fever superstar's impact extends far beyond individual accolades. Her team reached the Commissioner's Cup championship for the first time in franchise history, claiming the league's in-season championship with a 74-59 upset victory over the Minnesota Lynx. They accomplished this feat without Clark in the lineup, demonstrating how her presence has elevated the entire organization. Clark's statistical production remains elite despite missing games due to injury. When healthy, she averages 16.5 points, 5.0 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game. Her court vision and basketball IQ have revolutionized the Fever's offense, making her teammates significantly better players. The team sits at 12-11, a respectable record that has them in playoff contention. A remarkable achievement for a franchise that missed the postseason for 8 consecutive years before Clark's arrival.
Goofy clown, she ain't the face of the league. She ain't this, she ain't that. Her second year in the WNBA, man. Running the league. WNBA Player of the Year, Goofies. What y'all gotta say? What excuses y'all want to write in the comments? Y'all want to talk about her shooting slump or how Kelsey and Aaliyah Boston are the better players on the team, or because she's white, or what you gonna talk about black people are cool that support her? What bullshit y'all want to talk about? Because you ain't taking this award away from the god Caitlin Clark, Goofies.
The betting markets tell the story of Clark's ascension. Multiple sportsbooks have consistently ranked her among the top MVP candidates throughout the 2025 season. Even during injury absences, she maintains favorable odds, with many experts believing she could challenge for the MVP award if she stays healthy for the remainder of the season. Perhaps nothing illustrates Wilson's fall from grace more clearly than the current MVP race. Nafisa Collier of the Minnesota Lynx has emerged as the overwhelming favorite, with odds ranging from -275 to -700 depending on the sportsbook. Wilson, once a perennial MVP candidate and 3-time winner, now sits at +8,000 odds, essentially eliminated from serious consideration. Clark, despite missing significant time due to injury, remains ahead of Wilson in most MVP rankings and betting odds. Her impact on the game, both on the court and culturally, has elevated her above Wilson in the minds of voters and fans alike. Even when sidelined, Clark generates more conversation and excitement than Wilson's dominant individual performances on a struggling team.
Criteria is for ESPY, but the girl been carrying the league on her back and doing it while she's wounded. But as we know, people are gonna say she didn't deserve it. Just like people said, Angel didn't deserve her award, or Angel didn't deserve to be on the cover of 2K26. And my message to y'all, don't hate the player.
The Aces' struggles extend beyond just this season. The franchise has made significant roster changes that have disrupted their championship chemistry. The trade of longtime guard Kelsey Plum to the Los Angeles Sparks in exchange for Jewell Loyd has backfired spectacularly. Loyd is averaging career-low numbers while struggling to fit into the Aces system. Wilson herself has expressed frustration with the team's performance and direction. She's been critical of teammates, coaches, and even officials throughout the season. Her emotional outbursts during games, including a passionate halftime rant about everyone needing to do their job, reveal the pressure of carrying a franchise that has lost its championship edge. The departure of key role players like Tiffany Hayes and Alicia Clark in free agency has exposed the Aces' lack of depth. Without the supporting cast that enabled their championship runs, Wilson has been forced to shoulder an enormous burden while watching her team's championship window rapidly close. Hammond's coaching has also come under scrutiny. The former WNBA point guard led the Aces to back-to-back championships in 2022 and 2023, but her system appears outdated in 2025. The Aces rank near the bottom in most team statistical categories, and their offensive execution has regressed dramatically from their record-setting seasons.
And this award is for the people who moves the needle for their team, who's the most dynamic individual for their team to get their team over the hump. And clearly, only one name only stood out to me. It's clear as day. Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC. You can be a goofy all you want to and keep going against the grain like we all can't see. You hear me? Whether you wear glasses or not. The eye test tells everything, and numbers don't lie.
Beyond the statistics and standings, Wilson must confront a harsh reality. The WNBA has moved on from her era. Caitlin Clark represents everything the league wants to be: young, exciting, marketable, and capable of drawing mainstream attention. Her jersey sales, television ratings, and social media engagement dwarf Wilson's numbers despite Wilson's superior career accomplishments. Clark's games draw national television audiences and sell out arenas across the country. Her preseason exhibition against Brazil in Iowa set WNBA records for resale ticket prices, with fans paying an average of $670 to witness her return to Iowa. The Fever have become must-see television, while the Aces struggle to generate excitement even in their home market. The generational shift is evident in media coverage and fan engagement. Young fans gravitate toward Clark's dynamic playing style and compelling personal story. Her college career at Iowa, where she became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, created a massive fan base that has followed her to the professional level. Wilson, despite her superior professional resume, cannot compete with Clark's cultural impact. Even the WNBA's marketing strategy has shifted. Clark receives prominent placement in promotional materials, and her games are frequently scheduled for prime television slots. The league recognizes that Clark represents the future, while Wilson, despite being only 28 years old, represents a championship era that has concluded.
I am absolutely a Caitlin Clark fan. She is an amazing point guard. What she has done for the WNBA, that sometimes when I think about it, I'm just like, that was her calling. Like, she was supposed to shine that light. And the WNBA has been doing what it's been doing, but that mission was given to her to shine that light, and I respect her for that. I cannot take that away from her. I love her style of basketball. Her pass, she's literally a Tom Brady.
Wilson's individual excellence remains undeniable, but context matters in modern basketball analysis. She leads the league in blocks per game 2.4 and ranks second in scoring, 22.3 points per game, yet these numbers come on a team that lacks championship aspirations. Her efficiency ratings remain elite, but efficiency without winning has diminished value in MVP discussions. When examining team success, the difference is even more clear. Clark's Fever reached the Commissioner's Cup Championship and won the tournament, while Wilson's Aces sit at .500 and face an uncertain playoff future. Clark's assist numbers, 8.8 per game when healthy, demonstrate her ability to elevate teammates, while Wilson's game remains more individually focused. Wilson's win shares and player efficiency rating remain strong, but they're overshadowed by players on better teams who contribute to actual victories rather than empty statistical achievements. In the modern NBA and WNBA, individual brilliance without team success carries less weight in award voting and historical legacy discussions.
But at the end of the day, CC makes her team better, and without CC, they don't look so good. If you watch the game or been watching the games before she got hurt, that'll tell you all that you need to know. And understand, CC, a lot of us love you and appreciate what you do for the game.
For the first time in her professional career, A'ja Wilson must confront the reality of being the second best player in the league. Her 3 MVP awards and championship resume established her as the face of the WNBA, but that era has definitively ended. The question now becomes, how will she handle this transition? Wilson's emotional responses throughout the 2025 season suggest that accepting secondary status won't come easily. Her confrontational approach with officials, teammates, and media members indicates someone struggling with reduced influence and attention. The competitive drive that made her a champion now works against her as she fights to remain relevant in a league that has moved beyond her prime. The psychological adjustment from being the best to being very good challenges even elite athletes. Wilson built her identity around dominance and MVP-level performance. Now, she must find motivation and satisfaction in different metrics, perhaps team success, veteran leadership, or chasing specific statistical milestones. This transition will define the next phase of her career. Her relationship with Caitlin Clark will prove particularly interesting. During their limited interactions, Wilson has shown respect for Clark's abilities, but competing directly with someone who has surpassed her in cultural importance and league relevance creates natural tension. Wilson selected Clark for the All-Star game, demonstrating professional courtesy, but privately dealing with being eclipsed by a second-year player must create complex emotions.
There is actually no reason to give this to AJ Wilson. There is no reason.
Bro, what the fuck? Most career games with 25 points and at least 10 assists in WNBA history. She's played 42 games. She's 2 games in her sophomore season. This is insane, bro. And I think it was another stat of 20 and 10 games that she's already with just 20 and 10 games, she's already fucking...
The remainder of the 2025 season will determine whether Wilson can adapt to her new reality or continue fighting against the inevitable. The Aces need significant improvement to reach the playoffs, let alone contend for a championship. Wilson's individual excellence remains valuable, but it must translate into team success to maintain her legacy. Her approach to the changing landscape will define her career's final chapters. Embracing a veteran leadership role while supporting the league's new stars could extend her relevance and impact. Continuing to fight against the cultural shift risks further marginalization and potential conflict with the league's direction. The contrast between Wilson's career trajectory and Clark's meteoric rise illustrates how quickly fortunes change in professional sports. Championships and individual awards create temporary advantages, but sustained excellence requires adaptation and evolution. Wilson's inability to maintain her team's championship level while Clark simultaneously emerged has created a perfect storm of career transition.
It's just crazy, CC brings so much to the WNBA, bro. The game, her skill set, let alone. But her willpower, she stays fighting, you know what I'm saying? No matter how many times people done tried to bring her down mentally and physically. Y'all see what I see? You know what I'm saying?
Looking ahead, Wilson faces choices that will determine her legacy. She can accept her role as a former champion and accomplished veteran while supporting the league's growth, or she can attempt to reclaim her throne through improved team performance and individual excellence. Either path requires acknowledging that the WNBA has entered a new era, one where Caitlin Clark reigns supreme and A'ja Wilson must find her place in a changed landscape. The dynasty has ended. The Empress has been dethroned, and A'ja Wilson must now navigate life as the former queen of a league that has crowned a new ruler. How she handles this transition will determine whether history remembers her as a gracious champion who passed the torch or as someone who struggled to accept that every reign eventually comes to an end.